Teresa, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me here today. Today we're going to be doing some gel printing and I'm going to be looking at colour and contrast in our layered prints. We're going to be using some bright colours and then contrasting them with black and white to create some bold and striking designs. I'm going to move these out of the way, get all set up, and I shall be back to show you how it's done. As always, I'll begin by giving you a rundown of what I'm using today. Today I've got out my large gel plate. This is my 8 by 10 inch Gelly Arts gel printing plate. It's the largest one that I own. And I just fancy doing big prints. I'm using some big stencils today, so I've got out the large plate. I've just got some mixed media paper here. This is Faber-Castell mixed media paper out of a pad, like a spiral bound pad. Got a few sheets of that. Speedball rubber brayer, any brayer will do. I go between using this and using the Ranger red rubber ones. Makes no significant difference. This is just the one I've grabbed today. The paints I'm using are some Arteza tube paints, and because I want to show colour and contrast, I've chosen some nice bright zingy colours. So we've got deep yellow, neon pink, orange yellow, yellow green, cobalt blue, and I've also chosen black and white, so Mars black, titanium white. To create pattern and texture, I've chosen 3 of the texture plates that I made in a previous video. I was asked in the last video I put, how did you make that? And I do link in the end card to the appropriate videos, so if you have not seen my texture plate videos, please do go and check them out. They'll either be linked in the end card or the gel plate printing playlist that I have will be linked there, and you will find them in there. But I'm going to be using the one that's made with pasta, the one that was made with lace, and the one that was made with distressed corrugated cardboard. I'm going to be using those today. And I've got some stencils. Got some big stencils here. First of all, this one here, which is from a company named Clarity Stamps. These 2 here are by Stencil Girl. So we've got this one here, this like a Moroccan style, and this scribbly script style. We've also got a couple of smaller ones. I've got this little butterfly here, which is by Stencil Girl, which I think I'm going to use. And I've got these Dina Wakely media masks of this sort of like stylized floral. I'm going to be using those as well. Other than that, I've got a spray bottle with some water. I've got some paper towel. I've got some scrap paper off to the side if I need to roll my brayer and get rid of any excess paint, just the usual. But that's about it. And there's no specific technique in what I'm doing today. I mean, anyone who's done gel printing before, you probably do understand about just building up layers. I'm just going to be doing a layer at a time until I'm happy with the results. Putting on different colours, different textures, using the stencils, just to create some sort of bright, bold, colourful prints. Once I've got the nice bright colours on there, I shall use the addition of black and white to sort of really help make those colours pop. So let's begin by getting some paint down on our plate. So we'll have some of the deep yellow, some of this vibrant neon pink, and let's decide, let's have a bit of the yellow green as well. And let's get that rolled out over the surface of the plate. We'll create some texture in that. I'm going to use this corrugated card. then we'll get some paint onto our paper. And there's our first colourful layer. I'm going to carry on by getting a layer of paint down on each of the pieces of paper that I've got. Maybe varying up the colours a little bit, varying up the textures as I go.
I can try if you let me. Without lives I am bleeding. Who am I without stories that aren't mine? What I did to achieve you gave me air, thought I had to. I'm untrue, it's not pretty, the truth hurts. And you stayed on the ground while I was high. Yes, you've been here before, you closed the door. Now I don't know what to say, I expect you to leave. I deserve to be unheard, but I want you to see that you are the reason why I try. I don't know what you're thinking, but I know how you're feeling. I have crushed and burned someone before, and now I'm afraid of the person I'm pretending to be. But I'm more afraid to tell you I'm less than you see. And I know when I let go right now, I'm gonna turn you against me. 'Cause baby, you stayed on the...
So now we've got these layered, brightly coloured prints. We can see, you know, different colours, different layers, different textures coming through. In order to make those colours pop even more, we can add black and white, and the contrast really will make a difference and is a great way sometimes of working with prints that you're not 100% happy with, because it just draws the eye in and focuses on the better parts of the print. So I'm just going to move a couple of things out of the way. And the first thing that I'm going to do is to use these Dina Wakely masks. And this is great if you've got some silhouette style masks. If you don't own any, these are quite simple to cut out yourself just from some printer paper. Just choose some bold shapes. You could use just circles, dots if you want, just random strips of card if you wanted to. Anything that's good solid shapes, because you want quite a substantial portion of the plate to be covered. You don't want anything too delicate. So, you know, look for a nice, simple, bold, geometric shape. And I'm going to pop some black paint down onto the plate. Brayer that all over. I'm going to take my 3 masks and position them on the plate. And then I'm going to choose one of my prints. I think I'm going to choose this one here. Pop that down onto my plate. And by creating those bold, bright silhouettes, it really allows those colours to pop coming through that black background. Now, of course, we can use what is left on our plate here. I'm going to take this print. And there we have the black silhouettes on the coloured background. Really nice colour and contrast there. Next up, I'm going to use this stencil here, which was from Clarity. And I want the equivalent of our second print. I want this effect this time. So I'm going to put my paint down, put my stencil down, and use a scrap of paper to remove some of the paint. I don't want the black dots, I want the negative space around the dots. I'm going to pop my stencil down. I'm going to take this scrap of paper that I've just been cleaning my brayer off onto and use that to remove the paint through the stencil. Now you could, of course, if you want the black dots on something else, use, get another print that you're working on. But for today's exercise, I don't want the black dots. So I'm going to remove as much of that paint as I can. Going to remove the stencil. And then I'm going to take this print and pull up the paint that's left that was underneath that stencil. And for our last print, I want to use this little butterfly stencil. And what I want to do with this is just to brayer some black paint through it. So I'm going to pop a bit of black paint onto my scrap of paper just so that I can get some onto my brayer. And brayer it through the stencil onto my plate. And I'm going to do that a couple of times. And I'm going to take my last print can transfer those onto there. Like so. So I'm going to move my plate out of the way now, just going to get cleaned up, and I'll be back to show you how you can finish off these prints just by adding a bit more black and white, just making those colours really pop. So these were the prints that we created. We had the positive and the negative with those floral masks. We had this one, which didn't turn out quite as with as much contrast as I'd hoped with those dots. And then we had the stencil with the butterfly at the end. So I'm just going to show you how you can really just add a little bit more with some acrylic paint pens. These are just some Zila brand, Zila paint markers. That's a UK-based company. Posca paint pens, exactly the same. Derwent graphic art markers, same thing. So you could indeed use acrylic paint and a fine paintbrush, but I find sometimes if you want to add some little details, the paint pens are a lot easier to use. And I think I'm going to begin, let's see, I'm going to begin with this one here. I really do like this. Think it's turned out really, really well. I love the contrast, but I'm thinking a little bit of white on here might just add a little bit more to it. So I'm just going to go ahead, probably just speed up again with a bit of music while I add the details in with these paint markers, and just come back and explain at the end what I've done.
I can try if you let me. Without lives I am bleeding. Who am I without stories that aren't mine? What I did to achieve you gave me air, thought I had to. I'm untrue, it's not pretty, the truth hurts. And you stayed on the ground while I was high. Yes, you've been here before, you closed the door. Now I don't know what to say, I expect you to leave. I deserve to be unheard, but I want you to see that you are the reason why I try. I don't know what you're thinking, but I know how you're feeling. I have crushed and burned someone before, and now I'm afraid of the person I'm pretending to be. But I'm more afraid to tell you I'm less than you see. And I know when I let go right now, I'm gonna turn you against me. 'Cause baby, you stayed on the ground while I was high. Yes, you've been here before, you closed the door. Now I don't know what to say, I expect you to leave. I deserve to be unheard, but I want you to see that you are the reason why I try. 'Cause it's the look in your eyes, filled with doubts, and I'm scared. I am trying my very best to make it okay, but do you even care anymore? Yes, baby, you stayed on the ground while I was high. Yes, you've been here before, you closed the door. Now I don't know what to say, I expect you to leave. I deserve to be unheard, but I want you to see thought I had to. I'm untrue, it's not pretty, the truth hurts. And you stayed on the ground while I was high. Yes, you've been here before.
And here's our finished prints. I hope, as you can see here, that a little bit of extra black and white really just helps those bright colours pop. On this first one, I just outlined these images with a little row of white dots, and I think that just really lifts the whole piece. On the next one, I wanted to add some extra contrast, so I replaced the stencil back onto the print and drew round the circles, which gave me the guideline. I then just doodled a little squiggly line with the black pen on the areas that I'd wanted to be black. I could have coloured them in completely, but I didn't want to do that. But I thought by just adding the little squiggles, that just darkened it down that little bit more. And then I used the white pen to add a frilly edge around each of these circles, almost creating like a random flower design. I ignored the very tiny ones. I thought that would be a bit much to try and put the scalloped edge round, but that white line really just sort of helps break up the light and dark areas. Then we had our stencil butterflies. I just added a few white dots on there just to lift it. I really like that. I don't want to do anything else to it. I'm leaving it like that. And then finally, our other one using the Dina Wakely masks, I outlined with the black just to add a little extra definition around the shape, and then used a white pen to add in some details to the leaves and the flowers. Gave it a bit more of a retro feel, but really just sort of helped those pop. I've really enjoyed working with these bright colours, contrasting them with the black and the white, just to create some fun and interesting layered prints. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. There won't be a video next Saturday. I'm away on holiday next week, so I'm taking a break. I don't have time to get another video recorded and edited and scheduled, so I am taking a holiday, but I'll be back again in 2 weeks. But for now, that's all. Bye.
You close the door. Now I don't know what to say. I expect you to leave. I deserve to be unheard, but I want you to see that you